Have you ever felt that strange conflict inside you, the feeling that you are destined for something greater, yet your actions do not match the magnitude of your dreams? Have you ever looked at your life and wondered why some days you feel unstoppable and other days you feel like you are sinking under the weight of your own potential? Today, I want you to pause, breathe, and truly listen, because what you are about to hear is not just motivation, it is a blueprint for unlocking the version of yourself you have ignored for far too long. Most people think life changes through luck, talent, or some mystical moment of inspiration, but the truth is brutally simple. Life changes the moment you decide you will no longer negotiate with your excuses. You see, every human being carries a reservoir of untapped strength, a hidden capacity to rise, to push, to endure, and to transform. But the tragedy is that most of us never learn how to operate our own machinery. We don't know how to run the engine of our mind, the operating system of our habits, the chemistry of our emotions, or the energy cycles that build our motivation. People wait for motivation like it is some letter that will arrive in the mail, like it's a gift that will suddenly fall from the sky. But motivation is not delivered, you manufacture it. Motivation is built when you train your mind to recognize progress, to reward effort, and to celebrate the smallest steps that move you forward. When you attach dopamine, not to the finish line, but to the process itself, your life begins to shift. Think about it. When an athlete trains for months, the greatest dopamine spike doesn't come from winning a medal. It comes from each moment of improvement, each rep mastered, each day completed with discipline. When you reward your effort, your brain learns to crave action. Suddenly, you stop waiting for the perfect moment, and you start creating it. You stop dreaming in your head and start building with your hands. You stop hoping for change and start engineering it. Let me ask you something powerful. What if every struggle in your life was never meant to break you, but to prepare you? What if every setback was actually a setup for a breakthrough? What if every delay was actually divine timing sharpening your character? You see, the world does not reward wishful thinkers. It rewards warriors, those who refuse to quit even when the battlefield is their own mind. The great separator between success and failure is not intelligence, background, or resources. It is persistence. It is the relentless commitment to keep showing up even when you feel tired, afraid, confused, or unmotivated. And if you truly want to change your life, you must learn the art of consistent effort. Because effort compounds. Effort reshapes identity. Effort rewires your brain. Effort forces destiny to respond. Every time you choose discipline over laziness, clarity over chaos, growth over comfort, you reshape the architecture of your future. And here is something that many people never understand. The discomfort you feel during effort is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that transformation is happening. It is the burning that turns iron into steel. It is the friction that sharpens the blade. It is the resistance that builds the muscle. If you run away from discomfort, you run away from your evolution. But if you embrace it, if you learn to lean into the struggle, breathe through the chaos, and stay committed to the process, something extraordinary awakens inside you. That thing is power. Real power. The kind of power that does not depend on motivation, does not collapse in adversity, and does not surrender when life becomes heavy. This power is built when you take control of your internal chemistry. You need to understand that every time you push forward, every time you fight through fatigue, uncertainty, or fear, you generate dopamine that partners with epinephrine, your internal engine, your natural fuel for action. And those two chemicals together create momentum. And momentum is the single most powerful force in human transformation. Momentum means the more you move, the more you want to move. The more you advance, the more energy you gain. The more you progress, the more unstoppable you become. But here's the catch. Momentum only comes through movement. You can't think your way into confidence. You act your way into confidence. You can't fantasize your way into success. You work your way into success. You can't hope your way into discipline. You practice discipline until it becomes your identity. And that identity shapes your destiny. Let me offer you a truth that can change everything. Your brain does not respond to dreams. It responds to habits. Dreams excite you. Habits change you. And every habit is built by one small action repeated consistently. When you wake up every day and choose progress, no matter how small, your brain recognizes it. It rewards you. It fuels you. It prepares you for more. And slowly you begin to understand something profound. Success is not an event. It is a lifestyle. It is a mindset. It is a series of micro-victories that compound into major transformations. But most people sabotage themselves because they seek perfection instead of progress. They wait for ideal conditions before starting. They believe they need confidence before taking action. But confidence is not the starting line. It is the finish line that only appears after repeated effort. So if you are waiting to feel ready, let me say this with clarity. You will never feel fully ready. And that is exactly why you must start now. Start messy. Start imperfect. Start afraid. Start uncertain. Start tired. Start broke. Start uninspired. But start. Because the moment you start, your brain begins the process of change. Your chemistry shifts. Your emotions shift. Your identity shifts. Your energy shifts. And the world responds to your shift. Now here's the deeper truth. Real motivation is not loud. It is not fireworks. It is not screaming affirmations in the mirror. Real motivation is quiet. It is steady. It is the internal whisper that says, I will not quit today. Real motivation is the decision to keep going even when no one is watching, no one is praising, no one is supporting, and no one is cheering. Real motivation is discipline dressed in simple clothing. And discipline is the greatest form of self-respect. When you keep the promises you make to yourself, you begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. But the moment you break the promises you make to yourself, you weaken your identity. So today, I want you to reclaim your identity, rebuild your self-trust by making one powerful decision. I will reward my effort. I will celebrate my progress. I will attach dopamine to the process, not the result. I will make consistency my greatest weapon. Because when you learn to celebrate effort, your brain becomes a factory of motivation. And when your brain becomes a factory of motivation, there is no goal you cannot reach, no mountain you cannot climb, no drowsy average. You are here to become exceptional. You are here to master your mind, harness your energy, unlock your potential, and build the life you know you deserve. You are here to rise. You are here to fight. You are here to evolve. And you are here to win. Not because the world owes you victory, but because you owe yourself the chance to become everything you were meant to be.